Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Welcome back to the G-Lew Show, After Hours Live, and everyone, we got a very, 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 very special guest tonight. The return of our very own loved one and family, Miss Two Souls Forever, is back. You may know her as Two Souls on Phyre Radio. She has the hottest radio show going on Tuesday nights, Triple Shot Tuesdays. If you don't know, you should know. So she's coming up right after this. Let's go.
This that digital G shit. Summertime storyline, I had to retweet this. G-Lew coming straight out the trunk with my homie D West with some West Side funk. From the jump, we kept it way too major. And everywhere I go, they say, G, you a gangster. You the only one keeping it true. So if you keep it real with me, I keep it real with you. Yeah, it don't get no realer than that, cuz. Every time I leave, it's like they calling me back, cuz. I stay working, I don't get no sleep. I'm like 92.3, I stay on the beat. Like Julio G and the homie Big Theo. I'm trying to get a house out the hills next to Chino. The homie Willie D said do it like a Geo. Now I'm in the kitchen trying to cook me a kilo, but I do it all legal. And when I'm done, I go to scoop the homie D West in the Regal. Then we right back at traffic, headed to the studio and give your ass some more of these classics. Bombastic, just like Shabba. The homie ranked out when they pulled out the block eye. Now you gotta deal with a DP. Homie love's gonna get you like BDP on me. And everything I love, house party at the crib, we don't do no club.
What up, everyone? Welcome back. Flashback. After Hours Live on a Friday with G-Lew. Just combobulated here tonight. But like I told you, we got a very special guest tonight. We got the return of Miss Two Souls Forever. You may know her as Two Souls on Phyre. Like I said, the hottest radio show on Tuesday nights, Triple Shot Tuesdays. And she is here. Let me bring her on in because she is here. Welcome back. What's up, Two Souls?
What's up, people?
What's poppin'?
How's everybody's night? Hey, it's Friday night. Are you feeling all right? Let me get
great.
a hands up. Yay.
Great. Yay. Hold on. Yay. Like that, right? You know what I mean? What's poppin', Two Souls?
What's poppin', man? It's been a minute. That's what's poppin'.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're back because you got a lot going on. It's a lot I want to talk about because you've been very busy. Like since we last seen you last, like you are like the number one hustler I know. Like you've been really like putting in work and doing your thing. I just been seeing you grow and your channel grow, your personality grow, and you're just everywhere doing it all the time. So we're very proud of you. So I just want to say that.
Thank you, man. Thank you for inviting me first off to your show, and to all your team, for supporting, it's been a journey. It's been a long journey, man. I'll tell you.
Right. But let's go back a bit because it's your second time on, but let's take it back for the people who may just be seeing you for the first time. You know what I mean? Tell the people who you are, who is Two Souls, what she represents. Like, give us a little bit of background on Two Souls for the people who may be asleep,
Who may be asleep. Oh, man, I don't know where to begin. Well, I mean, I started promoting a couple years ago, actually. That's kind of how I started this all, like everybody says they all got the story, right? So my story was actually started around COVID, and I've been interviewing a lot of folks and a lot of them are kind of in the same thing, as far as it goes. Like, I don't know what it was, but you know how they say, from something bad, something comes good too, And so unfortunately, it was a bad thing that happened to a lot of folks, they were getting sick and all that left to right. But a lot of good came out of it because a lot of us created our own businesses. We started creating our things that we love to do, because we were like, damn, well, if we can't go to work, then we can't go out, the buildings or out the houses or whatever have you. Then we got to create something to maintain our families, to take care of our families and keep going. So, hey, shout out to Cover Your Ass Entertainment.
Your ass entertainment.
That's right. So I just started promoting, started going on Instagram and promoting a lot of different businesses, small businesses, and a lot of artists. And I was just doing it just for the love of doing it, and I started getting known. So people were like, hey, like, we like what you're doing. We appreciate what you're doing. and they're like, hey, you know what, can you, do that for us, with our a clothing apparel. Like I had one that was a clothing apparel. He's like, can you advertise my clothing apparel? I was like, yeah, sure. And then he sent me some stuff, and I wore it and started taking pictures, and then I know how to do a lot of stuff like that, like behind the scenes as far as editing and graphics and stuff like that. So people were enjoying the videos and the promotions and stuff, and that's just kind of how it started with that as far as the promoting goes.
Right, right. And let me take it back a little further, because also, Two Souls has been doing her thing for a long time. She's a very pretty young lady, but you've also been doing your modeling thing too, right? I've seen you here and there over the years in a few videos here and there. Like, tell us about that too.
Yeah, so talking about that, so yeah, so the way that started was just because of the lingerie. So like the homegirl from Moonshine After Dark, Ace, shout out to her, Luna G, Miss October. She's the one that hooked it up. That was my first lingerie shoot, with the homie, Poet King, the photographer. So that was our first photo shoot, and I did kind of get a little timid, because I never done anything like that as far as like kind of being out there, just wearing lingerie in a photo shoot, and it's not just one person inside the photo shoot; it's like a couple.
Right, right. Is that uncomfortable? Like, but let me say this. I want to ask, is it uncomfortable? But I want to say you are very comfortable. It seems like what you do. I don't know if that came over time, but you seem to be very comfortable. But your whole like if anyone knows you, like your whole personality is like very, very cool and outgoing and just fun. You know what I mean? So it seems it comes natural. But how was that progression or
Yeah.
getting that?
So too, like as far as it goes, I mean, I've always had like that personality, that bubbly personality, like they say. But I think that as far as like physically, physical, like yeah, I started getting more outgoing when I started like doing the photo shoots. So it's like, I was like, you know what, like I don't want women to think that they're ugly because they have a little flab or scars or whatever. And I got all that, and I'm all natural, and I'm not hiding it as far as it goes. When I'm doing the photo shoots, it's like I'm trying to have women embrace their bodies and how they are naturally and how God made them. And like, if you're not happy with certain thing, you can work on it. You can try to, minimize what you eat and stuff like that or whatever, or exercise or, but I know exercise is hard. A lot of people like, we put that to the side, but I mean, there's ways where you can control your eating habits so you don't have to gain so much weight if that's what you're, if you're unhappy with that. But if you love yourself and you're happy and you're confident and you're healthy, hey, you know what? Like, show it, girls.
Hey, look, let me ask you this, like personal, like have you always been, because you're like you got a nice figure and like thick as they was like thick, have you always like been that way, or have you embraced that, like where
Yeah,
when
no, I've always been that way. I've always been that way. I was an
but,
overgrown child.
but did you embrace it later, like it's cool
As a
like,
later, as an adult, yeah. But when
younger?
I was young, yeah,
Okay,
when
yeah,
I was young, I did not understand it. I didn't
right.
understand why, all these men would always, be like whistling and shit like that and calling out names like they say.
Right, right.
you know.
Right, that's dope.
Matter of fact, speaking of modeling, so like, guess what, guys? Guess what I have here? So this is my first magazine that I ever came out in, guys. Cover Your Ass Entertainment's first edition.
Entertainment.
Yes, out to
Oh,
that.
oh.
Yes, I am, guys. I am the calendar girl.
Wow.
Right there. Look, wait. It's like I can't see myself. Wait a minute. Where am I? There I am, right there. Boom. X-rated, guys.
Kids go to sleep. Put the kids to bed. Put the kids to bed. Oh, wait. It's in the building, y'all. Wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Magazine that I was very grateful and honored to be on, that I was able to be a part of their first edition, and they keep going strong. They just took out their second edition, and actually on their second edition I was honored to actually be invited to have an article of my radio show. So that's that's another thing that I'm very proud of, that the radio show is getting out there, I'm saying, and with the help of my colleagues and my friends, the homies, that the real ones, the day ones, like they say.
Shout out to the. Hey, you got all the dudes in here saying I love them thick. I like all natural. You can see you got them open here. Calm down, guys. Calm down. But even the ladies giving you love though, like everyone. But everyone knows, knows you. And
I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something because I need to sell these. Okay. So since we're on live, if you guys want to DM me on my Instagram, let me know because I'll sell these. You know what I mean? Just being like
You
I have a
autograph them
whole
too?
bunch. Okay, these are
Autograph them?
8x10s, and I have poster sizes as well. I need to get rid of these because they're just
You
sitting.
autograph them for them for the guys? Do you autograph?
I do autograph them, as a matter of fact. I have been autographing them because I think that it's nice to do that for somebody. And these were
Right.
taken by a lot of wonderful photographers. Austin Gray's one of them. I have Dodie Vision's another one. I have, oh my God, there's a lot of them to name, but I got to get rid of them. So I'm trying to sell them. I'm probably going to sell them at my event, but I
That's,
got to not show them to my mom.
so yeah, mom, you can't see. So how do like right now if they want to get it? Because a lot of people are coming in now. How do they go and get those right now? Get a personalized autographed copy. What is it? Go to the Instagram.
Yeah, Two Souls Forever.
Two Souls. Now, yeah, go to Two Souls Forever and don't get it confused with Two Souls on Fire, right?
No, because that's a business account. And that's not just handled by me. So I don't want my teammates to be looking at any conversation like that.
Right. Okay, so go check her out. Go to her Instagram, Two Souls Forever, and she'll give you an autographed copy that you can, hang up on your wall or do whatever you want to do with it. You know what I mean? Get it autographed straight from her.
Yeah.
Now, also the modeling, you like I said, you've been in some videos. Can you name some of the videos that you've been in for the people who want to go check those out?
Oh yeah. So I come out on a lot of features, and I've done a couple with Princess P and Sweezy Swift. Shout out to my girl Princess
Hey, what
P.
up?
That's
Queen
right. We
P?
did a video out in the Martinez boxing team's gym. Shout out to Martinez boxing team. We did a video there with his boys, the professional boxers, and also Profile Pod TV was part of it too. And so that was a real fun event, real fun music video that we did for her for grind. I think it was for Grind Time or. Yeah, I think it was Grind Time. I don't remember. I'm sorry if I got it wrong, Princess P, but I've been pulled left to right. So yeah, but yeah, that one was fun. We did it there, and we had a lot of fun with it. And then I did actually came out in two features for her songs. Two of her songs. One's called The Queen. I think the Queen is back or something like that. And then we have what is it? Mr. CR. I came out in the video with Mr.
Yo,
CR. Yeah, shout out to
two
Mr.
videos,
CR.
right? Or just one?
The music video out in downtown LA and South Central LA. That shit was dope.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun with that
video.
one.
Oh, I think that was one of the first times I seen you. Like, well, before we collaborated, I'm like, damn, because that's when you had like the whole,
Blonde look.
yeah, like it was like that was really dope right there.
You're like, whoa.
And then later, so I was like, wow, that was dope though, because you look like you were totally in character. It was like
Yeah.
a real, you know what I mean? So she really does this shit, people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did. I did that one really well. I really had a lot of fun with it, especially the part where I was pretending that I was shooting the guy. Oh man, I never held a gun before, so I was like, oh shit, I'm like in this part where like you hold the gun and you like actually shoot it, and I had to do the. He wanted me to do the look like Ice Cube. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that look like like hold that gun right there and then go, and then he goes
Right.
do that. I was like, okay, and I'll do that.
Right. Wow. Hey, does it get, like
Ice Cube,
that's what I was gonna kind of ask you next. Like, as far as acting and doing more of it, does it like? Did you get like? I forgot what they call that. Once you start doing it, you get like start liking it.
Yeah, it's like a high. It's like a little high and shit. Like yeah, like
so
like
make you do more stuff, or even really get into acting even.
I did a couple other features for a couple other artists I want to mention. Molly Music, he's from the Bay Area. Shout out to Tony's Talk Showcase because he's the one that introduced me to him, along with Primo Con Ganas, my sponsor. They needed a female voice, they needed a female a part for it, and he ended up letting me know. He's like, hey, you want to be a part of this song that they're making? I was like, yeah, let them shoot me the script and I'll do it. And I did it in Spanish. He wanted me to do it in Spanish. Wow. So I had a part of his song. It's called Red Lipstick, and that shit was fun. I had a lot of fun doing that.
That's dope.
Yeah, so shout out to Molly Music, Onda Music. They're out there in the Bay with Jumping Joe the rapper, and that shit's fun, man. I did that, and then I also even did another feature with Incredible Javier.
Incredible Javier, that's my boy.
Yeah, I did one with Incredible Javier. That shit was dope. Yeah, I did a feature with him.
The Trapesos thing or what?
Huh?
With his his movie or a feature on
Well,
a?
actually, I've been working with him for a lot of things. So like I did, like I said, one of his tracks, I did one of his tracks with him. I did a feature, like just doing, a feature on his track. And then I've been helping him a lot with also to be a character
Yeah.
for animated series, the Traviesos.
Yep.
So the Travieso series, I've been there since day one, and they did season 2, and then now he's doing his movie, and I'm gonna be a part of the movie too. So that shit's fucking fun. I have a lot of fun doing that, doing the animated voices, the voiceovers. It's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
That's dope because you not only, like I said, you got the whole package, like Two Souls. You got the voice to do. I could hear you like on stuff like whether it be acting or on music. You know what I mean? I don't know if you thought about doing any music like on your own or doing more features just to get your feet wet.
Yeah,
Or
I've been actually working more on that.
seems like you're like a whole I don't know the name when you're multi, you know what I mean? You could do it all.
Yeah.
Like you see you doing the acting, the music, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then your
Yeah.
attitude.
I
Right.
recently went back to do a lot of the acting too, because I've been having some more time on my hands. Because I've been, like when you start doing something like repetitive, you start getting better at it and better at it. When I first started doing my radio show, I was learning, you know what I mean? And little by little, I started getting better and started minimizing my time and what I could spend and stuff, so that way I can have extra time for other things. So I'm learning how to manage that, So I was lucky enough to Love Machine hit me up and Dopey, and they were like, hey, you guys, let's go ahead and work together, do some more stuff. We were trying to do this thing on the phone called the Party Line, but it was kind of hard for us to do it, but it was just funny because every time we get together, like on the phone, like even though I wasn't like doing any acting with them at the moment, because we were all doing our own little things and stuff, but like we would keep each other up to date and call each other on the phone. And Love Machine, he would like call everybody that in the group, and we would do this Party Line thing on the phone, and everybody be talking and laughing and just bullshitting. And then I told him, hey, we should do this like record it and then like put it out there so people could hear how fucking crazy we are. Like it's just funny, like it's comedy, but we tried, getting on these this app that I had that I tried doing, and it just didn't end up working out. So I was like, oh man, but we'll eventually try to figure something out. But then they ended up doing that the comedy skits where the one with the Anchorman.
Yeah.
That shit's hilarious. So that just kept it going, because I had done that a long time ago with Love Machine. I was a character called Tiffany Johnson, and I did the report, and the Anchor Woman, and me and him would go at it. We kind of acted like we were doing the spoof of the movie Anchorman. So I don't know if you ever heard of Anchorman with Will Ferrell.
Yeah, classic.
We're doing that. It's a classic. So we were doing that. We just kept it going and shit like that. And then just recently, I worked with Cover Your Ass Entertainment and Hertz Media. We went down to downtown LA and we did La Toxica, and then we did like some other like little comedy skits that we were doing, just off the top of our heads, and that shit came out funny.
What was that thing you were doing? I seen you recently. Where you were like an interview. I don't know. Where you were like talking to the girl, and you were like all laid out on the couch and shit.
Oh. Well, yeah, that's the one that they called that one La Toxica. So basically it was like there's a psychiatrist or psychologist, I think, yeah, the therapist. So Honey Bunches, shout out to Honey Bunches. She played the therapist, and she's giving me therapy about the problems that I have, like with my man, because I'm married and I have this problem and So she's giving me advice, but it's backwards advice. Instead of giving me advice to like better myself or to better the situation, she's kind of like implanting in seeds in my head to go like slash his tires and like chase him and like spy on his phone. It's hilarious. So I had a lot of fun with it. It was fun.
Right.
You guys Cover Your Ass Entertainment has it on their YouTube channel, so make sure you guys check it out.
It's dope. Shout out to Cover Your Ass Entertainment on the homie Love Machine. So what do you think you like the best? You've been doing it all, like from the acting to the radio personality to music and modeling. What do you think you like the best so far, that you're most comfortable with, like the most, or if any of all?
It's very hard because as it is, I do also like I host events. That's another thing. I've been hosting events. I've been on some stages, and I call out the artists on stage. I've been blessed to be a co-host with Long Beach Carlos. I don't know if you know who Long Beach Carlos is from the Nightcap Boule. Shout out to Long.
Interviewed him thanks to you.
Yeah, Carlos. That's right. See. Yeah. And he's invited me a couple times actually to be his co-host on his show, and it's been a lot of fun. I've gotten to know a lot of people through him. A lot of people through him are very good people, and we've connected and networked and worked together. You know what I mean? And then also I was able to be on with No Fronts and Pop Lock and Creeper. They invited me to be the host of the show. So I was like literally the host. I didn't have a co-host or anything. I was like the host, the main host. And we had, I don't know, like probably like 15 to 20 artists. I mean, it was a whole concert, and we had a lot of artists to call out that day, and we had a lot of fun, and lowriders everywhere, vendors everywhere. It's called Cali is Active.
Cali is Active.
Yeah.
That's dope. So you have just been really, really busy, huh? Like, do you are you really like liking this, or sometimes it get overwhelming, or it's all good? Like, run it.
No, it's good right now. Like it's been fun. I have a lot of fun with it. Focusing on my radio show is the main thing right now, though. But like they say, if you want it to grow, you got to be, gotta network. You got to, talk to other people and stuff like that, and to have like a good team. Like I already have a good team as it is, but have like more connections, basically.
Right. So what do your kids think about you now doing all these things, your newfound fame, and like mommy's like really popular and stuff? Like, what do your kids think about it?
I don't know anything about this, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think they feel it yet. I don't think I've been telling them, like, and my son actually, I was blessed to have him do two of my background beats. He did two of my background beats for my show. So like whenever I do my radio show, I like to, when I'm talking in between the tracks that I play for the artist, I like to have a beat in the background, just kind of like a low tone, just listening to it while we talk. And I asked him, hey, do you wanna do this for me? He's like, yeah. So he did two of them, and I have them on there, and I play them, on every other show or whatever. And that was something I was very proud of, and I'm hoping that he continues doing it because he loves music. So.
And I got my homie BTP Media Group, one of my sponsors and promoters, and he can, like, for your radio show, get a lot of good people on there. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna connect with them. Yeah. Then RBL Posse. I don't know if you know them, but he can make some things happen. That's what he does. So I'll connect you with him as well. Right. Yeah. So you've been doing. Hold on. Let me do this right quick. Right quick.
I was a guest. Two Souls was a guest on his show. He invited me over for the first time a couple of months ago, and I loved it. I had a good time getting to know all the family right there at the G-Lew show. Much love to everybody. Big D, Denise, House of Tattoos, Brenda, Naylove, everybody. Queen, you know it. DD. Man, many to mention. Everybody always shows love on this show, y'all. Make sure you guys tune in.
That part right there. I just had to play that right quick. That was a throwback right there.
Yeah.
So, so I was speaking like about your radio show. I see we got some trolls in there. It's all good. But I was speaking about your radio show. You've been doing it for a minute. Like you said, it's been getting better. You've been learning more. And what have you learned and loved the most about your show since you've been doing it?
What I love about the most is the different kinds of music that people are creating, at this day and age. You know what I'm saying? It's like so interesting to me. Because I grew up back in the 90s, and I listened to like Tupac, I listened to Ice Cube, I listened to like, freaking freestyle. Like I was all into the freestyle and all like alternative rock and punk rock and stuff like that. Right. And you just enjoy meeting different people that have different kinds of genres. And also like the dedication that they put into it, the hard work that they put into making the craft, to doing their music,
Right. Who has you've interviewed a lot of people too. Like what would you say some of your most memorable interviews or favorites, if you have any?
Lena? Well, I started interviewing way when I was doing the Cover Your Ass Entertainment. When I had the Souls from the Struggle episodes. Those were awesome, and I interviewed a lot of artists through that. It was a one-on-one interview where like we would be at the studio, or we'll be like at an actual like spot like that we would just randomly pick in the city. So those were fun to do. I had a lot of fun interviewing Princess P and Susie Swift, and I felt bad because I made them go down these rocks. We went through like it's called Forest Falls up here down this way to like going towards Indio and going towards the mountains. And so we went during the winter time. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel bad because it was cold. It was sunny, but it was really windy. So the wind was kind of, like it was cold. And
Right.
but we still had a beautiful view. Like it was a graffiti background with the stream like flowing. And Dopey loved it. We were like enjoying the scenery, and they enjoyed it. So I think that interview was pretty awesome, pretty amazing to me with with her story and stuff like that what she went through. And so I had a good time with them. And then the next one that I really liked was when I interviewed the professional wrestler from New Mexico, Danny G. Shout out to Danny G, the Ink Man, the Ink Body guy. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but I get crazy. I was like, he has a nice body. He's all tatted up except for his face, and he's from New Mexico. And right now he's been doing a lot of promoting for like a lot of different apparel companies. They all want him, and then he's been going to all these like tattoo conventions and stuff like that. Like, and yeah, I've never met him in person, but I did do an interview like how we're doing on Zoom.
Right.
And yeah, he's an awesome and amazing artist as well, and wrestler. Like he's not wrestling anymore, but I mean when he was like, because he did have an accident, but he just kept going. Like he's just, his motivation just like speaks for itself.
Right, right. You had a little twinkle when you said his name. Like, I think you really liked that interview.
I was pressing on him.
Like, really,
Yeah,
like I seen something
he's a very
different.
nice guy
Like,
too.
yeah, that
Like
dude right
I
there.
spoke to him off camera, and he's very
He-
humble man. You
Right,
know.
right, right. That's what's up. um, work- hey, also you work with like a lot of artists, like underground artists and people trying to come up. Like, do you like that? And how is it to work with people and then see them maybe eventually grow as well, and you can see that progression and know that you had them on your show? Like, how was that?
Yeah, that's a satisfaction within itself that I don't know if anybody could understand that, that doesn't do radio or doesn't, promote artists. Um, when you're not in that kind of field, I don't know if they'll understand the feeling that you get when you see that you had this one artist that started from the bottom and it's actually already like hitting stage to, like venue through venue, and the music is going high, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like that's a satisfaction in itself when I see that happen. um, there's this gentleman that I've been had on my show from the very first time that I had my show back in August of last year. And I had his music. I played his music on my show for the first time. I was like so excited because it was gonna be the first show ever. And I told him, I go, hey, you're gonna be the first one that I'm gonna put on, besides Princess P and besides I believe Like Minds, C Leon from Like Minds. Shout out to him. He's in Germany, and I believe they were my three first artists that I played on my first show. And I decided to just keep, like at it, like promoting and promoting and promoting them. Well, anyways, they're growing. You know what I'm saying? Like Celine, I'm on an interview, guys. Can you lower your voice? Please? Thank you. My daughter don't even know what's happening here. She thinks I'm having fun over here. I mean,
Yeah,
I am having fun, but you know what I mean.
right, right. Oh, good. Shout out to your daughter.
I'll say. So anyways, so I was like watching them grow, you know what I'm saying, and very proud of, Princess P and how far she's gone as an artist. She's hustling, she's grinding, she has a family of her own, and she's just pushing hard. She has her cosmetics line, and I mean, to me, it's like motivation. You know what I'm saying? It's motivation. I'm a parent myself. I'm a single mom myself, and so it's like, and it's hard. It's hard out there. And so I see her pushing and grinding and doing all that, and then C. Leon, he's pushing and grinding. He has his kids as well. You know what I'm saying? And he went through what he's gone through as far as being the single dad and all that stuff. Right now, he's happy with someone, but congratulations to him. But when I first met him, like, yeah, he was hitting hard, like trying to be like, hey, I'm trying to spread the love out there to international countries. I want to make sure that he calls it building bridges. And I loved that. I loved it. I was like, wow, that's amazing. He says building bridges from one country to another, making music and just bringing that vibe, and no matter what language it is. And you should listen to his music. You should listen to the artists that he collabs with. They have such a dynamic, like freaking, like the way they make the music combine. Even if I don't understand some of it, but it's just, you could just feel it, the energy, it's flowing.
Right. That's dope. That's dope.
And then the third artist that I want to talk to you about that I had, like I said, so I always do 3 artists on my show. I promote 3 artists every Tuesday night.
Thank you.
And
Right.
the third artist that I promoted was Jay Kent, and he goes by Jay Kent Official on Instagram, and he's from Sacramento. He's a young man. He's about 26 years old, and I just fell in love with his music. And I'm gonna have him September 30th at an event here in Highland, California. Me and Tony's Talk Show Kids collabing, and it's an event called Lifted and Gifted. And he's coming down. Can you believe that? He's coming down, and I feel like a high school girl. I told him, I said, if I was like 30 years younger, I'll be probably Google Gaga over you. I'll be like, hey, what's up?
Wow.
He has an amazing voice. Like he's very handsome, but he has an amazing voice, and he's very talented. And I just told him, I said, you know what? Like, you're going places, man. You guys, like, it just makes me feel happy to see how, how they're growing and how, how involved they are with their passion of music.
Right. That's what's up. Also, Cover Your Ass said, Two Souls also volunteers at the Boys Republic with the kids in placement. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I went I want to say it was 2 months ago. Right. Yeah, I believe it was about 2 months ago. Dopey hit me up and he's like, hey, do you want to go ahead and volunteer so we could do this, so we could go talk to the boys' homes, and give them a little, heads up about life and, whatever, to just kind of like tell them how it is, right? Like, so they won't, be fucking up and shit like that because they're already, fucking up. But we want them to think about first, because right there, they're kind of like in a safe area, but if they keep going at the rate that they're going to be going, like, they're not going to see, some of them are not going to ever see life. Like, they're not going to be out here, you know what I'm saying? They could get locked up for a long time, And so I said, yeah, I want to go because, with my life, I mean, I've never been in jail before, but I mean, I have family members that have, and I felt, I'm a sister of a brother that, went through a lot, and so I know how I felt, and I know how my mom and my other sisters felt when he was in there. So I went in there and I spoke, my piece about it and stuff like that. And I got to meet a lot of young men out there that, you could tell that a lot of them, they do regret what they've done. There's some that kind of have little, like that attitude, like ain't nothing gonna happen to me or whatever. But you could tell there's some that are, wanting to change. And, there was one that was into music and he wants to rap. He says he wants to take his music career like above and beyond. And then another guy, he's a designer. He started designing his own clothing line. I mean, they're youngsters, and I was like, wow, you're doing that? So I told him, I said, hey, well, like we could help you, like there's a way to create your own business. There's a way to be your own entrepreneur. You don't have to work for the man. If you put your mind to it, and at this age, if you start off at this age, you can be like that guy that owns Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like
it all starts from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a lot of fun doing that, and I was very grateful that he invited me over, to do that, and we're going again tomorrow.
That's dope. See, shit like that is dope.
I know that I have to say this though, because Dopey's probably like, she hasn't said what I want her to say. So some of the guys on there, I know you're looking at this, Dopey. Some of the young guys on there had known that Cover Your Ass Entertainment had done a magazine, which was this one that I have here that I told you, right? They had Cover Your Ass Entertainment had went maybe like a month before I went.
Had your magazine in there? I'll tell you that. The boys had your magazine in there?
Yes. Because Cover Your Ass Entertainment went like a month before I went, and they had the magazines, and they gave each and every one a magazine.
Oh my God. Okay.
So when I went for the first time,
they're like, we know you already. We know you.
Yes, one of the guys was like, hey.
They're like, we're familiar with you already. We know you. Wow. They were probably like, wow.
They were like, you're the model from the magazine. Oh my God, no way. They were all like their mouth was just dropping.
Wow.
Question. Someone asked the question?
Let me see. Yeah. I'm glad you saw that. I missed it. That's Denise Castillo. What up, Denise? Denise said, question for Two Souls. What prompted her to do what she does? Promoting the gente. What prompted you to?
I just love it. I love helping people, I've always done it. Like even when I was deep into the church, I used to go to church a lot. And, then we had created, I had a group of friends that we all created a Facebook group page to help people from the IE. And I ended up doing it. This is how I ended up doing it. This goes like way even before just promoting stuff on the internet. I had started, I went through, what I went through as far as my divorce and stuff. and being, the first time being single and all that, and
We
it
talked
hit
about
me hard, girl. It hit me hard because I was married for
go
18
back and
years.
listen. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was married for 18 years, and so being single again after that, I was like, fuck, and so it was hard. It's very hard for me, and financially it hit hard. It hit hard because you go from two incomes to one, and then I have two kids, and I'm taking care of them and raising them on my own. So I ended up going on Facebook, trying to find places, group pages or whatever that help people. So I had to eat up my pride. I was like, because I was too prideful. I was like, I'm not gonna ask people for help. Like, nah, like I could do this on my own. But I was like, you know what, I got to, because my kids were gonna start school and I needed new clothes and I didn't have like money and funds and all that. And I was being too prideful. I didn't want to ask my family. I didn't want my mom to worry about me or ask her, for favors or whatever. I was like, and then I saw this Facebook page and they were helping people out. They were like, oh, we have free, this or free that, just, come through and come get it. And I was like, okay. And I went, and I just felt the love and passion of everybody just giving and helping and helping. And then I was just like, you know what? Like, how could I help? Like, I want to help somebody too, because I never imagined me being in the situation that I was in. So I was like, this is my opportunity to help. So then from that point on, I just started helping. I ended up creating my own group with my other friend. And then we started helping people out at the parks. We were giving out food. We were doing like clothing, giving away clothing. I was collecting clothes from different people and from family here and there. Just be like, hey, if you have your unused items that you don't want to wear, give them to me. And then we'll go to the park and just give them away. And
Right.
that was a lot of fun doing that. And I think it just kind of like from that point on, like I said, when we had the COVID thing, I couldn't do it anymore. I wasn't really out there anymore. And the need of me helping people, I guess through social media, that's how I did it. I was like, you know what? I see this guy, he only has like 200 people that he's starting his business. Why not just promote him? And I started promoting them, and they enjoyed it. They're like, they don't even know me or nothing, but I just started promoting. I started promoting, and then that's when I was like, hey, like, and they're like, well, we can't pay you right now, but like, we'll give you some shirts. And I was like, shh, go for it, like, I'll wear the shirts and take a picture and promote your, shirt when I'm at an event or something. And that's what I've been doing. Shout out to Pura Cultura. That's one of them that I did, Pura Cultura podcast. I started with them from a long time when they started too, and back in the days in COVID, they started their podcast, and I ended up buying some of their merch as well, to promote their business too. And also, like, I started wearing a lot of the Victoria Vida, Slick Vic, official Slick Vic. He created his own business called Victoria's Vida, and I started wearing a lot of his merch, and just kind of like started, getting left to right, like different people that are doing their own merch. And I was like, hey, like, I want to go ahead and help you promote it. Let's do it. And then I started doing businesses, like, as far as it goes, like the craft beer lounge in Beaumont. Shout out to the craft beer lounge. I've been, helping out little by little, promoting them, and just little different venues here and there, trying to shout them out and stuff like that. And it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, you've been very, very busy. Like I definitely always see you working, doing something, like always, always. So that's great. Obviously the people like you. You know what I mean? Denise said that's right too. So very cool. Reminds me of myself. Did lots of ministries at the church as well. Your story is dope. Shout out to Denise. Uh,
Yeah.
what is your I know, like, we talked about like some of the things he's saying, we talked about in the first interview. People should go back and check that out. But what do you think, like, what is your, I know your ex-husband, like, I don't know if you're in touch or he sees you. What does he think, like, now, because you've had a newfound, like you said, you got your life together. You know what I mean? You're living your best life now. You know what I mean? What is
Have any
he?
communication at all. So that's kind of like, not even a
Okay.
question answer. Yeah, he's not in the picture.
Okay.
So yeah, he's living his life, and just up and left. And I
Okay.
mean, things happen, between me and him, and he just decided to bounce. And so I was like, fine, that's on you, because you make your own decisions. And towards the end, when you get old and gray, then you start regretting that, you didn't be there for your own kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right. Well, sorry I even brought that up. I just thought maybe, like, you see
Hey, you know what? I'm
it's
good.
doing.
I know God's got me, and God's been having me and my back and my kids, and it's all gravy, like they say. So I'm good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Two Souls Forever. So what's coming up? Like what we got going on with Two Souls? 'Cause like I said, you got a lot going on. Like what can we look forward to? Like that you're doing or under wraps or like
You
people
always want to know what's under wraps.
what's popping?
Well, just so like people could know what I do, because a lot of times people don't understand what my radio show is all about. I really didn't talk so much about that. You know, so like I said, what I do is I like to scout. I do a lot of scouting. I call it scouting because it's just like it's like a hunt. Like I love it, like the hunt of art. Like I'm hunting artists. So like I'll hunt artists. I'll go online. I'll go on TikTok. The majority of them, I go on TikTok or I'll go on Instagram, and I'll try to find artists that have either 100 to 200 followers, and that they're doing music. I listen to the music, and I'm like blown away. I'm blown away because I'm like, why hasn't this kid or this guy or whatever have been discovered? Like, why aren't they? You know, they need the help to promote. I understand it's hard to get their music out there, and that's the reason why I created the show, because I was like, I'm gonna put a platform out for those artists that are independently working and struggling to put their music out there. Also for bands, not only for artists, solo artists, but for bands as well, local bands, any band that basically is trying to get their music out there. I've even helped music producers to show off and showcase their music that they created. I've also done comedians, upcoming comedians I've had on my show as well, to promote themselves as well as comedians. And you know, have their skits here and there. I played them. I had David Hassel. I don't know if you ever heard of David Hassel, but he's a hilarious TikToker. He grew big, and now he's doing all these comedy shows. And then I had Young Beeves Comedy. I had him as a guest. He was fucking hilarious. I had him. I had Carlos Medrano. Carlos Medrano's on Instagram as well. I had him, and then I had Joshua Meza from Night Wolf Comedy. And so I've had a lot of different things that I've been doing on the show, not just, you know, like keeping it like with music, but I try to do a little variety, but still keep the music in it. Right. So I have a lot of fun with it. And like I said, I promote 3 artists, you know, for the whole hour. It's just 3 artists, and I promote like 4 to 3 songs per artist, and I talk a little bit about them. I send them like a little questionnaire, and then they answer it back, and then I just kind of talk about them while I'm playing their song and just have fun with it. But then recently, just maybe about a month or 2 ago, I started doing this thing called the Triple Shot Tuesday Studio Takeover, which gives the artist or the band, or you know, the comedian or whoever it is, right? They book the studio time for the whole hour. They take over the whole show, and we just talk about their music, talk about what they're doing for the whole hour. It's just all about them, and so that's been fun. I've been having a lot of fun with that because I've had Squishy 1991, my homegirl Squishy, shout out to her.
She's dope.
To the art, yeah, she came in as the artist, the first artist that I had on here. Then I had Long Beach Carlos as a co-host. He came on here. He was my co-host. You know, we had a lot of fun with that, and it was nasty, guys. So you got to listen to it. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
So many drinks that night, but yeah. So we had them, and then I just recently had MC Rules, which is also here from Colton, California. I had MC Rules. He's a fucking dope ass artist. And then I had Batch Records label, the whole crew, 5 guys in my studio, 5 guys, and I'm the single woman right here. Woo! I was like, yes, I got me some 5 men in my room.
Hey, so let me ask you this. Speaking of all these guys and all this, what's up, Spank? Much love. How do you deal with that, or how do you manage that? Like, I'm sure a lot of you get all of this, you know, the guys getting at you, knowing how to separate business pleasure, or just all the, you know, shit coming at you. You know what I mean? Because you always seem to keep positive and a smile on your face. I'm sure you go through a lot as well. So how do you deal with all of that?
The way I carry myself, they don't fuck with me. They know it. They don't. I don't know if I could say battles. Oops, sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like, it's the way, you know, like I've been doing this for a long time, and as a matter of fact, I was just talking about that with a friend of mine, and same question, you know, and I was just like, nah, like, you know what, like, I've noticed, I said, because one of my friends says, well, you must be getting hit a lot, or you must have a guy, or you know, and this, I'm like no, like, it's just the way I carry myself. Like, I don't allow, like, you know, they know, like, they not to cross that line, or else I don't want to deal with you. I'm not going to deal with you. I'm not going to deal with disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the way that I carry myself that they see like, oh, we can't fuck with her because she's not like that. Like she's not trying to be like, you know,
Right.
Lucy or whatever. So I get a lot of respect from a lot of the artists. A lot of them respect me. They love the fact that I'm pushing their music, of course, and also not only pushing the music but going to their events as much as I can to go and either film or chop it up with them or whatever. So it's like that shows love to everybody out there. That I'm not just like trying to just play their music, but I'm also trying to get involved with, as far as like I said, a lot of them, like with the homies from Batch Records, shout out to them. Like I told them, I'm like, you know what, I never seen a group of guys work so hard and work so well together, because a lot of times, a lot of groups, they have their little things that they go through and all that.
Right. It's hard for groups.
And yeah, it's like a family. We all bump heads sometimes here and there, but we're still family and we're still help each other out.
Right.
So, I commended that to them and told them, and they're like, oh wow, like we genuinely see that you really like, support us and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, yeah, And the thing is, like I told my collab partner Tony's Talk Showcase, I said, we do this for the love and the passion of music that we have, and we're not charging our artists to play their music. And there's other radio shows out there. I'm not going to say that they're wrong to do it. I'm not hating on them, and I respect their hustle. But yeah, they worked hard for where they're at now. Like a lot of them, they probably started like me. So yeah, at some point, am I going to want to charge? Yeah, because yeah, we got to make a living, right? But my main goal right now, I'm trying not to charge my artists. I want to.
You get paid for promoting.
I want the money to come through promoting businesses, because it's a business and they're making their money already. So it's like, if they're starting out as a business, they're going to need that help to promote their businesses, So
right.
Sponsorship, that's where it's going to be at. The money is going to be for the sponsorship. And, this will be side money for me and my kids. And that's what I tell a lot of folks. I'm like, hey, like sometimes when I have certain artists, not a lot, but there's been certain artists throughout the year that kind of, made me feel like I work for them and treated me like I work for them. And I appreciate that, because I'm my own boss, and you're not going to tell me what to do. And you're not going to tell me, well, why didn't you get me on the show? Or why didn't you put my music on? Or, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, man, and it's like, come on, like, I'm not even charging to put music on the radio. Like, there's other radio stations that charge per song to be played on their radio show. And then not only that, the takeovers, mind you, they charge for the takeovers like $35 to $40 probably, so every little thing, it's cost. And even to like put on the stories, like if I put the businesses on the stories, or anybody on my feed, or anything that has to do with the social media of my business account, they charge, because even like me, if I try to hit up another radio station and ask them to help me out, they're going to charge it, because that's their business, and you can't, complain about it. That's their business. It's like,
it's the business. You have to have at one point or another, look to, it's all for the love, of course. That's why we do it. But like you said, that has to be somewhere in your plans to try to get paid. You know what I mean? And it's hard sometimes because look, we're dealing with all this stuff, YouTube, the space, all of this, and then you know what's crazy and what is hard is when you see a lot of the BS, the bullshit.
Yeah.
They're the ones getting paid, like the ones that push the BS and all of that. It's turned into that type of game where that's where really the pay is. But when you want to do what you love and do what's right and all that, that's going to take a longer road to take. You know what I mean? You just got to stick to it. You know what I mean? But you have the right attitude and you're doing everything right, so it's only right. Lena Lokes said, "Everything you do is dope. Your children are blessed to call you mama. You're an overcomer. You sound like an awesome person."
Oh, thank you, Lena. Appreciate you. And I saw that someone had a question there. I think it was Denise, and she was asking, I think, if I get paid to promote.
Yeah, that's what I said. So you kind of answered that. That's what I was saying earlier. But right now, you kind of answered that already. So I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like I said, there's always a way around it, because like I'm not a huge radio show right now, which I do want to be, of course, But I mean, like I'm still raza. I'm still like, I'm not above everybody. Like I don't consider myself like that. So I'm like, I could work with you. You could work with me. If that's the agreement, we'll fucking hustle with this shit. Both of us will come up on top. So I'll tell some people like, hey, because I have a lot of times where they'll send me their stuff and no introduction. I don't know who they are. They've never followed me. They don't ever like anything that I have on my Instagram or nothing. So all of a sudden, here's your flyer. Here, flyer. Quick share, please. I'm like, do I know you? Hi,
Right.
how can I help you? And then they're like, aren't you gonna share it? Like, excuse
Oh,
me? So then to me, like, come on, man, like be know how to come at people, know how to conversate and be like, hey, you know what, like, I'm a new, shoe designer. I just designed all these shoes and I'm selling them out of my garage, and I need the help. Can you go ahead and just pass out this flyer on your Instagram? Hey, you know what? Let's see. How can I help you? Let's see how can we work together. And so there's been times where I've talked to businesses and I tell them my rates. I'll tell them like how much I'm charging and stuff like that. And I'll
right.
offer them, this is exactly what I can do for you.
What
I
up,
said,
Marvin?
you know,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna be like honest with it. I'm like, this is exactly what I can do for you, and it's not just promoting on the radio show, but it's gonna be promoted on social medias, and it's gonna be promoted throughout the events. Like if I do an event, they could have their logo, presented at in the event and hang up their logo, and so it's a lot of things that we can do as far as helping out a business, which is no problem to me. But it becomes a problem when I start giving them my prices, and they're like, well, that's a lot. I'm like, really? I go, do you want to call Kiss FM or Katie? I mean, they'll charge you
Right.
just
Right.
for 2 minutes on the radio show, like $500 probably. I don't know. I'm just saying, like I'm not charging that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'll announce it, and not only that, my shows after my shows, once I do my show on the air live, after that it gets saved and I put it onto iHeartRadio. So iHeartRadio has all my shows from all the way from the get go, and they're playing constantly. So guess what? If you were a business and your business was on that Triple Shot Tuesday back in 2022, guess what? People from now are listening to it. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I want to buy my shoes from Paco." Yeah, because you heard it on the radio, right? And it's already like pre-saved in that little thing or whatever, and you just press all the shows and you can listen to it, and all their businesses are just rolling. So that's what I told this guy. I said, if I'm charging this amount of money a month, guess what? I go, it's not only going to be promoted just once, it's going to be like forever because it's on there and
Right.
people are listening to it far away and in any country they're listening to it. So you know what I mean? It's a great idea to market. That's how I look at it. I'm very good at marketing, and I like it. So it's just like, okay, so then there's times where, yeah, there's people that they're not making a lot of money. I could tell by because they're little, whatever. So I'll tell them, like, okay, look, let's make a deal. Then I said, you could send me some of your products. I said, and if you want, I could like test them out, and that way I can know what I'm dealing with, and talk about it to the people that are listening. Because I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, everybody follow this person. His products are good. Well, how do I know if I never bought their product, or I never heard of this guy? And they get upset that I don't promote them. But I'm like, I never even bought your shit. Like, come on, man. Like, so some of them, they'll be nice and they'll send me like their stuff or whatever, here and there. So I'll do it, and it works out. And then I'm like, okay, if you post my stuff, I'll post your stuff. And if I see that we're doing it to each other and cross promoting, I'll keep at it. But if I'm just promoting you and you're not promoting me, it's like, well, then what's the point then? Then if you're just having me promote you, then I'm going to have to start charging you then. That's how I look at it.
But how do you get to that point, like where you now get serious about business and being able to talk to people and let them know you're serious? Because like you go from, like you said, a show starting off to where like you accept everyone's just promotion and just people even wanting to listen to you or tune into you, to now you have to know how to conduct business and like tell
Yeah.
people what it is. You know what I mean? And
I did
don't
a lot of
worry about
research.
hey,
I've done a lot of research, and I've taken a lot of online classes,
right,
for radio broadcasting, how to get your sponsors and how to get sponsors to sponsor your radio show and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I've slowly but surely starting, here and there. I haven't like done it, like dedicated myself so much in it. But I have, like certain people that I have, come across. I've, told them like, these are my prices, let's work something out. And we've worked something out, so that's kind of like, what the plan is right now. As far as seeing money right now, I mean, I haven't really seen much. I've been getting a lot of money though, like making money, not a lot, but making my money off of hosting shows. So that, like, if there's an event coming and there's a production out there that's like, putting a lineup together, and they need somebody to, haul out their artists and, entertain the crowd. Hey, you know what? hire me. I'll do, for 5 hours, this is X amount of money I'm charging. Where's the location? And then, I've done that before. I've did a couple shows like that and made my little side money for myself, and that works out.
Right. That's what's up. Have you gotten comfortable with like the hosting? How does that thing go? Like, is it?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. At first, it was like kind of shy. Like
Right.
the first one I ever did was with Barbie. I don't know if you know Barbie, La Barbie 1991.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I think that's what it's called on Instagram. Well, anyways, La Barbie, she had her birthday party and she did a birthday bash at at the Stardust in Downey, and she needed a host, and she had about freaking like 17 artists that night. And I'm like, damn, girl, like, how am I going to do this? This is my first time. I don't even know what I'm doing. She's like, I'm just going to give you the lineup and you just call their names out and they'll come up to the stage. And I'm like, okay. So we did that. The thing is that it was all unorganized because some of them were like not there. Some were not showing up. And it was a madhouse. But I still did it. And I did, call out a bunch of artists come on stage. And then I remember I was so nervous. I was wearing this tight ass damn like bodysuit with high heels like this big, walking up on the stage, trying to be careful not to fall on my fucking ass. I was like, watch me fall on my ass and everybody's gonna be like, whoa.
Right.
Because this knock-a-dock, man, it's gonna take over the whole damn stage.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not fall.
You held it together. You held it up.
Yes, I did. I held it together. And ever since then, I have not stopped. And I've just been, doing either co-hosting on some shows or being the host. And, I'm going to be hosting my own show April the 26th out here in Redlands, California. We're celebrating our first year anniversary for the radio show. And I'm so grateful to all the team, for doing this. Freaking Con Ganas, Primo, shout out to him. Shout out to the Sick with the Clothing, because he's been my #1 promoter right there, Louis. And
Louis.
Yeah, he's Sick with the Clothing. He's from My Time Records. He's an artist. He's an entrepreneur. And then also we have LZ Entertainment, which is a new sponsor, a fairly new sponsor from our team. And he has he has a glitter and boost photo boost. It's like a 360 and it goes in circles, like that new photos that everybody likes taking.
Yeah.
Well, he has one of those, and he has also these other businesses out there that he's doing, and so he promotes a lot for us. And then we have Frank Vibes. I don't know if you've ever heard of Frank Vibes, but he's also on YouTube, and he does his own YouTube interview, for artists and stuff like that. So he promotes me a lot, and he helps me a lot. He's done a couple of my graphics as well. And then who else? We have our fairly new one was Unlocked Doors. Unlocked Doors. Unlock the Magazine. So Unlock the Magazine, he is from the CEO for that is Free Wicked. I don't know if you ever heard of Free Wicked, but Free Wicked. He created the Unlock the Magazine and also Snail Metal Gel. And I'm actually having him on my show this coming Tuesday. He's doing a Tuesday takeover, so we're gonna get to know more about him. And I was blessed to be on his article as well. He does his magazine, like I said, and he hit me up and he's like, hey, would you like to be on the magazine? And I said, go for it. And guess what? The magazine's right here, guys.
Wow, there it is.
I'm right here. I'm selling them, and I'm going to have them at my event. I'm on page 37, guys. You want to see the page? Oh, man. Give me 3 pages. I have 3 pages in here. Look at.
Let me see. Dope.
All it's talking about all what I'm doing and how I've been, hustling and grinding. And I even have a page out here to dedicate to the sponsors. So it's fucking awesome. And the magazine is wonderful. It talks about a lot of people that are grinding and hustling just like me. And
how many magazines is that for you now? Like you been doing your thing.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm trying. Like I said, I have a lot of fun with it, and like I said, I was telling some people, I said, oh yeah, I've been on G-Lew's show a couple times already. And they're like, what do you mean a couple times? They're like, they ain't tired of you yet. I said, look, this has been a year. I said, and before that, I said, we were on that, what was it? Let's Talk About It Monday.
Yeah, it was yeah. Let's talk about it with me and homie Big D. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Shout out to Big D. Yeah,
we were on there, just chopping up about life and shit like that. I said, so you
It's
know.
like
But yeah,
my sister right here. Like you. That's another thing. Like you, like I was talking about earlier, how you deal with people and all that. But I'm sure once people like get to know you, it's like it's all love. Like you're like the sister someone never had. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's what Big D used to call me when he first met me. He started saying that I was his sister. He's like, "You're the older sister." I'm like, "Oh, be quiet." The older sister.
yeah, like that's what it is. And like I said, beautiful personality. Have you always? You said you somewhat did, but like even when you were a kid, like did you always have personality or the outgoing
Oh
oh no? So what,
no,
you were shy when you were a kid?
yeah, I was really shy when I was a kid. I
Wow.
was
I
really
can't
shy.
even imagine that.
Yeah, I was really shy. And then even when I was married, I wasn't as spunky as I was either. Like I think I don't know, it was just like really shy. And then but when I like I said, when I got divorced, I went to church. I had gone through this course like that, just like it's mind change, it's mind blowing basically. Like it took over like the whole way I thought of like life and about myself, and it just taught me a lot on how to value myself and love myself more, and respect myself more, and not to tolerate any BS from nobody, and that's kind of like how I've been ever since then. It's just kind of like, you know what, I gotta stand my ground and show people that they gotta respect, like I'm not gonna take any bullshit from anybody,
Right, right. But
because
it's
I've been through a
it's
lot, I've been through a lot.
like a special something happened. Something else had to happen. Like for you to just get all this sauce and swag, like the youngsters say, like came out of
Swag.
your shell, like you cocoon, like the new lady, because you saying you were shy and like I just like I don't know, you know what I mean? You would think you were like this your whole life, you know?
Yeah, nah, I wasn't. I wasn't. I started it when I was a little, like I said, when I was an adult already, Just like I said, it's just loving myself and realizing that, like you have one life to live, you know what I'm saying? And it's like there's been times, like in the darkness of two souls, back in the days, like I didn't think I was gonna make it. There was times where I didn't want to live,
Right,
So, like to think that I used to think that way, and I'm here to live and talk about it today with you guys is a blessing, because I'm like, you know what, like that was stupid of me, to think stuff like that, but I was going through it. I was going through a lot, and I just didn't want to give up on my kids. I was just like, well, what about if I'm not here? Who's gonna be with them and who's gonna take care of them? And they ain't got nobody else but me. So I just made the right decision and said, nope, I'm gonna push through, no matter what I'm going through, emotionally. I'm gonna push through, and that's that.
right. And how do you deal with, let me speak on this, again on the personal side, how do you deal with not far as all the people, we talked about that, how you carry yourself and all that. But how do you deal with maybe, I mean, because you're still a woman, you not needs, but want love and all that. How do you deal with that? Like, do you still think, because we talked about that, I think last time, and yeah, I'm thinking, but these dudes just ain't got it together. Half of these dudes is on beat.
Yeah, that's the
So
thing.
how
That's
do
the
you,
thing. A lot of people are not ready, to commit. You know what I'm saying? They either have issues with, like, no job or no car, or like they're still, like, living with their mom, or
right,
like in the garage, or it's always something. It's always something. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, like I'm ready, but and willing, but like I keep meeting the wrong person. The person that's not really ready to be like in that kind of relationship or something like that, full blown. And it's like I'm not ready to put my guard down either, because I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be making exceptions or trying to be like, okay, I'll just brush it under the rug, because it bothers. It does. It's like if you already know like something you can't tolerate, then what's the point of being with someone that those things already came up from the beginning, that you're like, it's a red flag. You're like, oh, but I'll see what happens. No, like don't even waste your time. Like, come on, keep it going.
but how do you look? And I'm glad you said that, because sometimes to get through all that, sometimes you may not know that until later. Like, how did you learn that over time? Like knowing how to
Yeah,
see the bullshit from over here. Like, cause some guys can have a good game, you know what I mean? Talk
yeah,
good, probably look good. You're already attracted to them, and they have a good game, and you may think it's one thing, and then later on you find out it's not, but it's already too late because you guys already been, or whatever the case,
yeah.
How did you learn how to deal with that?
I feel, that's something that used to happen to me a long time ago. When I first started dating, because like I said, like I was married for so long, and then for me to like be back in the dating world, man, that shit was crazy. I was like, I took a year off though. Like as soon as I got divorced, I took a year off to like devote to myself, to my kids, and to just regain myself, strength and healing and stuff like that. Because, like they say, when you lose, not like he died, but like they said, it's like a divorce is like considered like someone dying,
Right.
like a death, because it's like, yeah, it's part of what,
That's
like
all you know.
half of my lifetime. And so to like imagine my life by myself and all that, yeah, it was hard. So I took a year off, and then I was like, all right, I'll go back into the dating scene. And yeah, there was a lot of times where I was like, man, what was I thinking? And stuff like that. And like they say, you have to go through it to learn from it.
Right. Right. That's great. I'm glad you could be honest about it. That's part of it too. Like, so you understand this now. So but still knowing all that now, and you still kind of dealing with it, do you still deep in your heart say, man, I have faith and love or hope for love? Or do you just say, man, I ain't even thinking about that shit? Like, it's whatever. Or do you deep down in your heart still want love?
I used to, last time when you had me on here, I did say I still believe in it. Because I
Right.
remember Denise was on here and she was telling me the same, like, no, not everybody's the same and stuff like
Right.
that. And, still have faith and all that. Yeah, but sometimes when my faith is probably like the cup is full, like they say, and I was kind of like, diminished little by little, like, because it's like the way the world is right now, oh my God. And it's just like, I'm afraid to like give all my all to somebody, and then they just like,
They just you.
same thing again.
Yeah.
But I know we gotta take risks and stuff like that. So, being the fact that, I'm doing what I'm doing and all that, I mean, if the opportunity knocks, like they say, and all the the things are lined up in the way that it should be, then, if whatever God brings, whatever God makes, for it. So, I mean, I'm not going to say no to it if it doesn't, if it happens, I mean, if it's the way it should be. But I'm not looking for it though. I'm not looking for it like I used to. I used to be on dating sites and stuff like that, and I
Right.
gave up on those, because of the same reason. It's kind of like, you know what, like I keep meeting people and they're not matching. We're not matching with them.
And I feel the same way. I think things should be sometimes, especially when you look for it like that, it's just not there. But things happen organically. But like you
Yeah.
said, sometimes it's slow. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But the one thing you always keep is, number one, your dignity, your self love. When you have all of that, it don't matter. You know your worth. As long as you know your worth, it don't
Exactly.
matter.
I didn't know about that. Like when I was married, I didn't I didn't know about all that. Like, I don't know, like I didn't realize like that I should have my values and worth for me. It was just my mentality was so different. And then like I said, when I started going to church and taking these classes for our mental health, and for to for us to break free from all our bondages, I realized so much. And I'm like, man, like I tolerated so much. So that's why now I'm like, no, I love myself enough to speak up and tell the truth. And I know it's probably hurt some people, but hey, I'm gonna say it, like, hey, if this is something not for me, I'm gonna tell you. Or if this is what I'm looking for, and if you're not like up for it and you're not ready and willing, then you know what, then we're not a match. I'm like, why continue? Why waste our time? But if
Right.
I see something in that person, and I see that they're ambitious and they're goal-getters and all that, that to me is intriguing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like that. So if we're a match in that kind of a way, it calls my attention, to where I want to keep that person near me, and see where it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like you
You
said, organically, like not plant, not like expect something from that person all of a sudden to be like dating me, but like it starts off as a friendship. And if we have a lot of similarities and a lot of qualities and a lot of values that are the same, then yeah, that's going to be something that I want to look forward to hang out with that person and see if there's a possibility.
Right. What up, Cholo Trucker? Cholo Trucker said, I enjoy dating, but you do run into some odd characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes you think sometimes. Like, I was going to ask you this. You think, because like where we're at now, you spoke about church and God and all this. Do you think like where we're at right now, not only as a society but the whole world. Like everything is really crazy. You know what I mean? Like, do you even think it's like, do people, do you, because like you said, you have to give to someone, you have to give up a lot, from yourself. And it's almost like you said, is it worth it? Like these days, because we're living in a effed up world, you know what I mean, right now, where it's like hard to trust anyone, you know what I mean, let alone people you meet and all of this. And people have it's just a lot right now. Like, so sometimes you think about that, like, is it hard to even, like, do you see yourself even like going there? Because, like, especially with new people, and I know, we have to keep an open mind, you know what I mean, but
Yeah.
it's hard these days,
Yeah. It is. It is hard. It is hard. I mean, it's kind of like they say you got to roll the dice somehow.
yeah,
Roll the
yeah,
dice, and I mean, because like, yeah, does a single person really want to be single? I I could say no.
right,
Um,
right,
and if they ask me that, no, I don't want to be single. I don't want to be growing old and be by myself.
right,
I want a partner. I want a partner that I can enjoy life with. The rest of my life with. Um, but as far as me, like, you know, um, choosing it, or like as far as like what settle, like I guess not. I don't want to settle. I'm not trying to choose something because I'm lonely. Choose
right,
someone because I'm lonely. No, that's the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do is to be with somebody because you're lonely
yes,
and make you happy because you're not lonely. That's the wrong way to do it.
right. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. So that's what I'm saying. So, like, is it like you I guess it's just rolling the dice, and I feel that way too. But right, if it happens that way, it does, but you're not looking for it, or it's like whatever. You know what I mean? And it's hard to keep an open mind or let your guard down for the most part. But like you
Yeah,
said, I guess you can just read, what you feel, what feels right and what doesn't. I guess you
yeah.
just
Listening to your
smart.
gut instinct is important because that's something I did not used to do. And then, as like I said, as I, I've dated a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I've dated a lot and try to, find the right, like they
Out.
say, the fit. And you could start learning how to read it. Like you already know, like when they're already gonna start to lie to you. Like, oh, like I fell asleep, and
Right, right. You know the signs.
but then yet, you see them on Instagram or you see them on here or there, or whatever, and you're like, bullshit, call bullshit.
Hey, hold on, hold on. I'm glad you mentioned Instagram and social media. Look, that's a whole nother thing. Just like you said, though, that's why people got to be on point, because it doesn't lie. Like you said, you can literally see someone, if they're online or whatever. But do you think? I want to ask you this, coming because you came from the back in the day, we didn't have social media and all that shit, right? Do
Thanks
you
for saying my age.
I remember it wasn't social media. You know what I mean? So it's I mean that's what it is, right? Um, I like that I come from stuff, none of this, so I know both. You know what I mean? But do you think social media was well? I don't want to say a good or bad. Obviously, it has a lot of goods, but the goods and the pros and cons of social media. Because going even to what you just said right now, you could catch a guy with his won't they won't, but I just seen you online. So how the fuck did you whatever? So what are the pros and cons of social media, and do you think it's a good or a bad where it's going?
Man, I think that ever since it's been invented, like it's just been crazy, because I mean it
Age.
depends on how the person is too, they use it for their own advantage, to like spy on their husbands or whatever. And but to me, like I think that's just crazy, it's just like too much because it's like, come on, man, like if they're gonna cheat, they're gonna cheat. You know what I'm saying? It's just leave it alone. Like the whole thing about let me look at your phone and all that BS, like man, just stop. You look stupid. Like just stop. Like that's
Agree.
just
If
one
you got
thing
to
that
do all that, it's you know what I mean. It's already like if you got to do all that, nah. I'm the
yeah,
same way. I don't want to. I don't even want to do all that. I
yeah.
feel you're gonna feel if something ain't right. So if it gets to that point anyway, it's already a problem. You know what I mean?
Like I don't like when like one
Because
time I
you're
was
definitely gonna see something you don't want to see. So you don't want to do
yeah.
that anyway. Go ahead.
Yeah, one time I was dating some guy and like he was tripping because because of like me liking like pictures or whatever. And
Right.
I'm like, it's just a like. It doesn't mean anything by it. Like I don't care if you like so and so's pictures. Like I don't care. I go, what I do care is if you start disrespecting and start using like putting comments and stuff like that. Like if you're a single man, that I do like take for like kind
Right.
of harsh about that. I'm like, hey, like you don't see me doing that because that's a single person's conversation. You're
Right.
not single. Like when you're single, you could be like, hey, what's up, mommy? Ooh, I like your dress in that picture, and everyone's watching it. You know what I mean? Everyone's seeing that comment.
But but look, I'm glad you said that too, because this is another thing with social media. How do you differentiate like how you get mad at your man? Because I'm glad you just said that. Like, I don't care about you liking a pic and all that, because see, I think social media, what it does too, that's the cause of a lot of problems in relationships, and because it's so much out there, it's too much, especially for a guy. A man is still gonna be a man. When you have all this shit all day, you could just scroll down and see ass or whatever. They
I know what you mean.
look, and you're gonna, what I mean. But I like what you said. I don't care if you like or whatever, but it's levels, I guess, and it's different if you're maybe liking or having conversation or even liking. Some girls like you shouldn't even be liking a pic. You see it, you can scroll, and you don't have to like everything. And that is true, because I've learned that over the years. Like, that ain't, you don't want to just, if you don't know that person or it's not, you shouldn't be liking everything, and then everyone can see that shit too. You know what I mean?
Sorry,
But what happened?
like a moth or something's flying around. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Okay, where do you draw the line, like with men, or what they're doing? Like you just said, like isn't a like is okay, but a conversation is different. Some people don't even want you liking shit. So like, where do you
That's the
draw that
thing.
line? Where do you
If you're
think that comes into play?
like, this is the thing that pisses me off. Like, okay, so you're gonna get mad. A woman or a man's gonna get mad because you like the picture, but you're still following the person. So okay, so then just now not have Instagram, don't have Facebook, don't have nothing, because okay, what's the point of following the girl or the guy if you're not gonna like the picture at all? Like, so you're just gonna have it there just to stare. Like, I don't get it. Like, what's the point of following people? The whole point of the freaking Instagram, the way they created it, was to like. Facebook, the same thing, like, share, blah blah blah. So like, what's the point of adding these strangers or people or friends or whoever, friends of friends, and just to stare at them? I don't get it. Like, so it's the same thing. Like, I don't know. I mean, to me, I could care less. The only thing, like I said, like if they have a zillion people that they follow, whatever, girls or whatever, I don't care. But it's a matter of how you act with your character. Like, if you're right there just bluntly just talking on the comments, not caring a thing about it, if they're doing it like that, it's kind of like, I see it like this. Like, okay, so if we were at a restaurant and you see that girl that's right there, you're gonna go, oh, I like how you look in that dress. That's kind of the same thing. We're all watching on social media, and we're seeing that, oh, and then next thing you know, so and so calls me and be like, hey, isn't that your boyfriend? Oh, he's commenting on so and so's pictures. Like if he's single, then that makes you look stupid and makes me feel stupid, because it's like, wait, we're together and here you are like fucking slobbering over this girl's pictures and
Right.
talking about her dress, or talking about her boobs or whatever, commenting. To me, that's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
So at the end of the day, you think it comes down still to the person? Because I was gonna say, what do you think about even the social media and having all this shit on there? Because that's a lot, all you see. But like you said, you got to even follow a person to see it. So
Yeah.
I get that part. But so do you think still it comes down to the person, or too much going on social media? Because all that is all you see a lot of time. All the females,
Yeah.
whatever. It's a lot, and sometimes, like you said again, that causes problems in relationships.
Well, I mean, I think it's the person. If, like, for example, if like your girlfriend, or like let's say you had a girlfriend, right, and then all she's following is men that are wearing like tiny little boxers and they're like half naked. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the person, on how they feel about it. If that's how insecure you're gonna feel about them following somebody that's a model, that's maybe a model or something like that. Like, how insecure are you gonna feel? Like, are you gonna be like, oh, why are you following these people? Why are you following these people? Like, I don't know. Like, some people get bugged by it. You know what I mean? Or like vice versa. A woman might get mad that the man's following all these models. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think to an extent, it's kind of like it does bug. Like, there was a time where I had a guy that I dated, and he had like nothing but models that he was following. You know what I mean? And I had asked him, I'm like, hey, like, do you know any of them? And he's like, no, I just follow them. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that was it. That was all. And then I said to him, though, I said, but what if like you had someone in your DMs talking to you? Like, that depends on how you act, right? I said, if you know that you have a relationship, you put a stop to it. Because if you don't put a stop to it, then that goes to show you that you're not really in it. You know what I mean? You're not really in a relationship. If that could happen anywhere, even if you're on the street. It doesn't have to do with social media. It could be anywhere. You could be at the laundromat and some girl's out there looking hot while she's doing laundry, and you hitting up on her, and she has a boyfriend. It's up to that person to say, "Hey, I'm taken." But if that person doesn't show you respect, even when you're not in the room, then that woman's not meant for you. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. That's real talk. And I agree, like you just said earlier too. I think it comes down to the person. I mean, especially at this point, we know what social media is, what it does, what's on there. You can choose to know what you want to follow and what you don't want to follow. And like you said, especially if you are in a relationship, because sometimes dudes may already have followed all these models before they got with you, right? But now you're together and we are in an official relationship.
Yeah.
Like you said, some things, got to change. So it comes down to the person. Um, how do you deal with like what was I gonna say, like, okay, like far as men, like now that you deal with, how do you deal with them differently because now you have a name, you're somebody. How do you deal with, because you may get with a guy you may like and all this, but he may be insecure to the
Yeah,
fact that
that happened to me. Oh my gosh.
I mean, so now you're in this relationship and this guy is all like insecure, like, oh, I don't want you doing this and all that. But this is what I was already doing though. This is what I do.
Yeah,
How do you deal with that?
you hit the nail. Yes, that happened to me. That happened to me because he was all like, "Oh, you're a little celebrity, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Why do you say it so like mean?" He's like, "Well, I just like noticed that you have like a whole bunch of followers and all this and that you do and blah blah blah." Like he sounds so bitter or something, and I'm just like, "Well, I'm gonna let you know something. Like this is me. This is my life. Like I'm not gonna stop it because I met you or because I'm with you. Either you like it or you don't. Like if you like it, you cool me, cool. But if you don't, you know what? Bye. You know what I'm saying?" Because it's like, come on, like, so this guy, like, he didn't like the fact that I did graffiti. You know how I do graffiti too? I haven't done it in a while, to be honest with you, but I do miss it. And so, when I'll go do my graffiti on the wall,
You do. That's the things he didn't like.
he
What?
didn't like it because he said that, aren't we a little too old to be doing graffiti? I was like, what? I said, there's no age for that. Like, there's no age in art. And then, plus he didn't like the fact that I would wear little shorts because I would wear little shorts and I'll go paint,
Like square.
like, "Oh, you're wearing shorts like that?" He goes, "Oh no." He goes, if anything, I'm not gonna be letting you wear shorts like that."
Wow.
And I said, "Oh, did I ask your permission?" I
Right.
said, "So if I have to have that kind of tone with you, like you're already having that tone with me," I said, "as far as telling me what to do, you're controlling, you're not supportive, you're not liking the fact," because he's like, "Oh, I bet you probably meet a lot of men at your shows that you go to and all these events that you go to." And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow,
He
because you
sounds
sound
insecure.
jealous.
He sounds real insecure.
Yeah, so I said, I'll be damned if I'm going to be with someone that's going to tell me not to do what I love to do. I said,
Right.
that's, I said, I have to have somebody that's going to support me as well as I'm going to support them, because if I meet somebody that they're passionate about what they're doing, I'm not going to get in the way of that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get in the way. I'm going to support them and I'm going to applaud them and as much as I can, like rise together, if we're going to be a team, you know what I mean?
Right. Right. And far as like dealing with men and people you meet or would like to meet, do you think you can see someone or does it matter or not? Like, far as because you're doing a lot of stuff out a lot, entertainment or clubs or rappers or promoters, whoever. Do you like when you do find someone, or does it matter? Like, would you like someone to be like in the industry, or is that going to be like a no? Or do you want something totally outside of what you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question because I think last time, I don't know if it was you or somebody asked me that question, and I remember I was like, no, I don't want nobody in the same industry as me. Like that's not gonna work. But I tried it. I tried going out with somebody that wasn't in the industry,
And they totally don't get it.
and they don't get my passion. They don't get it.
Right. Right. Right.
Like no, like you haven't spent time with me, or like whatever. I can't remember. This was a while back, and then I'm like, come on, like because I was all excited because I was going to this event and I was so excited and I was like, come on, go with me. And, I could just tell that that person was not very happy about me going to this event. And I'm like, dude, like it's not like I'm going clubbing. Like I would get like if you had a girl, right? Like if you're in a relationship and your girl's always going to the club, okay, say something about that because she's out there dancing by herself and meeting probably guys. Who knows? I don't know. But
Right.
I was going to a community event where there's a concert, there's lowriders, and this and that. Okay, so that's how insecure you are. Like I was like, I'm supporting businesses. I'm going out there to go record. I'm going to be doing some interviews. And he was like, I'm not having it. I'm like, well, you know what? Then good riddance. I said because I'm not going to about to deal with somebody that's not going to be
Right.
supporting me because I already dealt with that when I was married. When I was married, I had somebody that wasn't supportive and didn't understand what I liked, and so like we bumped heads a lot, and we were married and we had kids, so I did deal. I put up with it basically,
Right.
because at the time I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't respect myself enough to say, you know what, fuck that. I stayed together because I wanted my kids not to have not to have a dad, So but things happened how they happened, and God had to take care of it for me, and so this is how he took care of it by me growing growing on my own and just realizing that you know what, like I could do this on my own and just keep grinding. So this is like I'm not gonna about to put up with someone that's just gonna be like, no, taking it away from you.
No,
No.
that's why I asked you because I learned that myself. You know what I mean? I even say that to myself, and I like who I deal with has to understand like what I do because people. That's why I asked you because sometimes you want something outside of that what you do, but then like you said, sometimes you want that, but then they don't understand. And it's a problem.
Yeah,
So like you
yeah,
got
they don't
someone that
understand. That's
understands what
it.
you do. Like even me, just like okay, I might deal with someone, a female that doesn't know anything about what I'm doing. With even this show right now, like so now we start kicking it, and they want time or whatever. Or I got to do my show. What are you doing this fucking show? What is this? You know what I mean? Don't even
Yeah,
understand. This is what I do. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's a problem. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's when it becomes a problem. But when you have somebody that's, by your side that understands it and they might do the same thing as you do, like that's the connection that you have, you know what I mean? And that's the respect that you guys give each other, you know what I'm saying? So like if I have somebody that's with me that understands what I'm doing and I understand what they're doing and kind of like in the same industry, then we'll understand each other and we'll be able to move forward with it.
Right.
But it does get a little scary sometimes because we're a face to the public, like you and I, we're a face to the public, and so shit goes down. Guess what? We're gonna be in the media, just like how the inquiring minds want to know.
Right. That's a fact.
In the lower level world of Hollywood or whatever you want to call this, like you know what I mean. It's not like we're big time, but I'm just saying,
Right.
like
But you still deal
I
with the same
don't
issues.
know, you know what I mean. And it's like word gets out, and people are already out there talking, and it's kind of like damn. And then when you want to start dating again, it's kind of like everyone already knows your business and shit like that. So that's why I'm like I try to keep my personal life private. And even if I do end up dating somebody that's in the same industry, like I'll be like telling that person like, hey, you know what? Let's just keep this on the down low. Like I really like you, but like we have to hush this because I don't want to ruin our careers. Honestly, I don't like. I respect that person as much as I respect myself.
Right.
For our both careers to be like good, we have to like we have to keep that like momentum as far as like like you know what I mean? Like we're not an item, you know what I'm saying? Because that way it works better.
Yeah, it does. That's what we've learned in this, especially when you, like you said, when you're in the media or in front of the camera. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because all your business and it's just a lot of shit. It's just a lot of shit. You just have to protect your energy, like the homie said. So it's like you have to these days. You have to be very protective of yourself and just what you let inside. You know what I mean? Your circle or your life. You know what I mean? Because someone just could come corrupt your shit. You know what I mean? And just like
Definitely.
it's crazy out here. So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. She said being equally yoked is key. And I agree. I totally agree because that's what was the situation in my past. We were not. You know what I'm saying? To the point where like I couldn't even go to church as much as I wanted to because what are you doing at church? Why are
Yeah.
you going to church? I'm like,
Nah.
really?
Oh yeah, that's definitely if someone's got a problem, not to say that they're a problem, but if they have a problem with that, yeah, that's an issue
Yeah.
for
That's an
sure.
issue. And so yeah,
For sure.
but like I said, that issue right there, as far as it goes, like yeah, you don't want to meet somebody that doesn't understand, where you're coming from, because man, I'm telling you, that's just gonna be a headache. It's gonna be a headache, and and sometimes there's women or men, that might fall into that trap too, where like they just want to, okay, they like, okay, yes, ma'am, or okay, yes, whatever, And hey, well, what about the building of your life that you were doing with this whole thing you're creating, and you're gonna give it all up because the woman that you met that you think is the woman of your life, decides to tell you, hey, you can't do that no more. Like, what?
Yeah, that's a fact. So it goes both ways too. Like women shouldn't let someone, like you said, deter your dreams or make you feel less than, or you shouldn't be doing this. This is what you love, and vice versa. Dudes shouldn't be so, or up some other girl that they let you take you away from your dreams and what you want to do. You got to grow a pair. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, it does.
For sure, for sure.
Mhm.
Uh, Two Souls on Fire. So tell me, I know we spoke earlier, like what's coming up and all this, but tell us immediately, like what's going on now. Of course, we got to plug the radio show, a lot going on, but what do we got coming up right now? I know you got an event coming up. Like plug everything going on with Two Souls right now.
Yes, so like I was telling you earlier, we are celebrating our first year anniversary. I'm so grateful and honored that everybody that supports the show has been showing so much love, and all the artists out there that we've networked and helped out, and all the bands that we've helped out. I want to name a few of them that's been like rocking with us. So like the Quetzalcoatl band, it's from Obsidian Rising Records label. Their whole group, it's not only Quetzalcoatl band, but it's Anomaly Productive, Héroes del Sol.
Two
Huh?
Souls, hold on, right? Let me cut in because I want to ask you this earlier. Tell us about your love for bands and rock as well, because I see you promoting a lot of bands and a lot of good rock. Like, tell us about your love for that too.
Oh, it's just that to me is a high energy, like just going to concerts because I love going to concerts. And just having to be out in front stage, like right there, just watching them rock out with the instruments. Like I'm a fanatic of instruments. I wish I learned how to play. I was practicing how to play guitar, electric guitar, but because of my carpal tunnels, I kind of stopped. But that's something that I've always loved. I've always had instruments in my life. I used to play the trumpet back in the days. I was learning how to play piano, and also sing. So I'm also in a band. I do reggae, so we do a reggae band. So I do that on the side whenever I
Say you
can.
do country too.
Oh, that's what he says. Carlos,
Yeah, you do country too on the side.
so he loves the song that I sang one time. I was on my live stream and I was doing karaoke, and I was singing a song that it was a country song. Oh my God, what's the name of the song? But it says something about I slashed his four tires with the key or some shit like that, and he just like, oh, you sang that song so well.
Wow.
But yeah, so I love the bands. I love the way that it's just like the energy and just everybody like hyped up, and so I grew up a lot with a lot of punk rock bands and a lot of metal bands when I was growing up in high school. And so now that I get to actually like interview them and go to their concerts and interview them behind the scenes, and I've done a couple hosting for a couple bands out there where they needed a host, and I was like, all right, I'll do it. And so I called out their names to get on the stage, and that was fun. So
How let me ask you this: how is that rock life different from like the kind of hip hop or other like hostings you do? Like, does it get wild in there? Like, how is that compare? Like,
a little different because they do mosh pitting, so the mosh pit gets crazy.
right.
Yeah, so it's a little crazy, and each type of genre in the bands is different. Everything is like from metal to punk to ska. We got the reggae band and we got the thrash metal bands, and everything is a little different than other. Yes, Carrie Underwood. Thank you, Amanda. I was singing that song, Carrie Underwood. Yes, Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Song. Hey, that's the girls' national anthem. You know what song, Amanda? I dug my key into the side of this pretty little souped-up four-wheel drive. Carved my name into his leather seats. Don't get him mad.
Love country too, because really all country is they're just like talking that shit too. You know what I mean?
Yes. You know it.
Call before he teach. Yeah, that's it.
That's it right there. Yes, that one.
Wow. Okay, so
So yeah, like I was telling you, so a lot of the bands that have been supporting the show, I wanted to go ahead and mention them too. Like I
Okay.
said, the Obsidian Rising Records, all the boys from them, they've been, promoting the show so much, and they're actually going to be at my first year anniversary. They're going to be there live playing on stage, and so I'm very excited for
Okay.
that. All the artists that are coming out on the show on August 26th, the City of Redlands at the Escape Craft Brewery, they're all volunteered. They all volunteered to come out in the show, and it touches my heart so much because a lot of them are coming from far away. One's coming from Baltimore, Maryland, Real Chills, and he's like dope. I have not met him in person, but I've been following him on Instagram and supporting him. And he's one that I actually met through Tony's Talk Showcase, and because Real Spills has a show that he does on Tony's Talk called Real Spills with Real Chills, which is a motivational podcast. So yeah, I like him. And then I have a couple people coming from San Diego, and the other artists, from LA and whatnot. But yeah, everybody's excited. We're gonna have Princess P on there. We're gonna have Abe the Freak, El Don, Cabeza. We're having who else? Oh my God! Oh, Isaac from Compton, I
Yeah,
think.
that's the homie. I think I'm supposed to be. We're lining something up, but he again. I know him through you, so like I want to tell you too. Thank you because a lot of people, you know what I mean. I've met in the industry and people I've been connecting with and interview or want to interview through you. So thank you.
That's dope. Yes, I always tell my people, I'm like, hey, here you could go ahead and do an interview with him. Let him know that I sent you. I'm always telling people like,
Had
here.
we've had a few too, and some good ones too. Like over, like I said, Long Beach Carlos. I think Squishy came through you too. Like that was Squishy is dope as fuck. So shout
Yeah.
out to her. Like a lot of good people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what it's all about, because it's like connecting people here and there, you know what I'm saying? And I love it. I love doing that. So, like I said, I'm very excited for this event that we're having. I'm having a lot of help from the homie Joshua Mesa. Like I said, he's a stand-up comedian. Make sure you guys follow him on Night with Comedy. So Night with Comedy and Two Souls, we collabed and we're doing this great event. He's bringing a lot of dope comedians from all over, and they're going to be doing stand-up comedy as well. Besides having artists on the show, we're gonna have comedy. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have bands, like I said, vendors, food vendors. We're gonna even have two tattoo artists doing tattoos on the spot. And
You got a real event going on here, huh?
we're
Wow.
gonna have riders too. We're gonna have a lowrider show outside on the parking lot. There's a car meetup. It's not like a competition or nothing, but this one's just a car meet. We just had luckily I collabed with the homie Phil from Inland Empire Cruise Nights. Shout out to him, and he was able to gather up all his homies from a lot of dope ass Inland Empire car clubs. And they said, yeah, we'll go ahead and support her show, and they're going to show up on Saturday, and I can't wait to see them all lined up and their fresh new, little cars, out there. Oh my God, I can't wait to see the cars. I love, like, I'm a fanatic of classic cars, so I love it. I love the scene, and I just like how well taken care of they are and stuff like that. And it's just nice to look at them.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah,
Two.
so that's one of the events that we're doing. And then on the 27th, I'm going to be on location filming and interviewing a couple artists at this other event that's happening in Bloomington, California, by this DJ. It's a famous DJ from Colombia. His name's Alex Cumbia, and he actually invited me to have my own booth there at his event. It's a huge event, a Colombian festival that's happening on August the 27th, the day after my event, and it's happening in Bloomington, and that's an all-day event, I guess, and they're just having a ball with all these artists that they're bringing from Colombia. So I can't wait to see that. And I'm taking
Oh yeah.
Tony's showcase. He's going to come with me so we can interview people.
JoJo said we have an event too. So I don't know if I thought I already told you or I don't know, but November 18th. You know what I mean? We're having an event, the annual G-Lew Show reunion.
Oh yeah, I heard about it, and that's when I'm working overtime.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. Oh man, we got to figure something out,
I
Two
was
Souls.
like so mad. I was like, and I've been trying to get someone to switch with me because sometimes we could do that where they could switch with us. Like we
We
could
got
ask.
time.
I'll see,
We got
but
time.
sometimes people don't like to switch because they're already set with their damn ways. Like, oh no, I already picked this weekend, and so I'll
Right.
see. But if they don't call me, like if because I have to work like till 3 o'clock, so like I have to wait till 3 o'clock on call. It's an on call thing. So if they don't call me by 3, then I'm a free woman.
Well, we're gonna hope that happens. We're gonna pray that happens. Talking
Yeah.
to existence. She'll be there, people.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So Two Souls on Fire, like I'm very, very proud of you, Two Souls. Like just like your progression, everything you've been doing, and just like it's just fun to see you really growing and enjoying what you do. You know what I mean? It's just like I said, the energy and everything about you, just a great person. You know what I mean? All the
Definitely.
way inside and out. You know what I mean? And we
want to shout out
appreciate.
I want to shout out my sister too, because my sister has a lot to do with the way I dress. She's my
Oh,
little
okay.
fashion
Yes.
designer. I don't know if she's listening or not. I told her I was going to be on here. Her name's Patty, and just wanted to tell her thank you, because she's my little, like my ideas of fashion. Like she helps me out so much. Like I don't know how to dress myself, and ever since I started modeling, even before I became the radio host, she's the one that was been helping me trying to figure out, like, stuff to wear to the shows or whatever events. And she's like behind the whole design of how I dress sometimes here and there. So it's like I give her props. And she's always like helping me out. And I told her, I'll say, you're gonna be my fashion designer. All right, I said you're my fashion designer. And she's like, all right.
So, yeah, she
So
always
shout
has.
out to my sister, man, to
Shout
my
out to
mom, man, because they've been promoting me, helping me out. Like always pushing me, telling me, you're doing good. And my brother and my sisters, like they believe in what I'm doing, and so they're proud of me. And you know, yeah,
that's what's up. You sound like you have a good support system. That's always good. All the support you can get. So that's great.
yeah.
How
I
does
want
it?
to shout out to the homie Jason. So Jason, he goes by J Goobs on Instagram. Well, anyways, he's been helping me with a lot of background music. He created a lot of the background beats for my show. Jason Garcia, and I just very very happy, with the team that I have. I'm saying, it's like everybody just helps out, and then like I said, there's a lot of people probably I haven't mentioned, but like you guys know who you are. It's like sometimes when we're in the spotlight, we get a little nervous, so we forget everybody's name.
Yeah, that always happens. You didn't shout me out. But it's safe to say I think she everyone who knows should know. And she sends her love.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And I
safe to.
personally tell them, like in the DMs, like I personally tell, like, all, especially a lot of the artists, like one he lives in Hawaii. His name's Li on the beat, and
Oh, that's
I
right.
don't.
See, that's another one. I know through you because me and him been talking to him. You know,
Yeah. Oh
producing.
no, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beat is one cool cat, man. I'm saying, like, he's been promoting my show a lot too, and helping me out and Tony out, and what I mean. He's been like number one, like supporter, like crazy. And much love to him and his family into everything that he does. Like he does his own music, beats, and creates songs, and he works with Chief Smokes,
He's a
and
good,
he's a
good
good
guy.
person, man, all around. So
A good
much
guy.
love to him. And also Mr. A Rods, he created one of my intros too for my music, for the that one that plays on the Triple Shot Tuesdays. He created that, and I loved it because he sounds so cool singing it. So much love to him, and also to Breezy Beats. Oh man, we got something cooking. I don't know if you know who Breeze Beats is, but um, yeah, we got something cooking. So watch out for that one. He's making something special for the radio show.
Wow. So you got a lot. Like I said, she has a lot. I don't even think you have a lot going on. That's great because it's always good to be busy and working and and perfecting your craft because I just see like sky's the limit for you Two Souls. You know what I mean? Really because it's just a lot. I see you just doing everything. You know what I mean? That's great. So
And you
I,
know what I'm going to say to you is that, like, even though we're not in the same, like, when you have somebody, when you have a cool person that's a good friend and a good
right,
supporter, um, this is the thing I was going to say. When you have a good friend or a person that actually believes in you is when you're not in the room, when let's say you're my friend, right? And I'm not in the room with you, I'm somewhere else. I'm in a room full of people, and I take that opportunity to advertise you. And that's a true friend right there, because like that's an opportunity that you have a room full of people with so many opportunities. And when you hear someone say, hey, I've been looking for someone to do an interview of my show or of me or my business, where could I go? If you're a true friend, you're going to open up your mouth and say, you know what, G-Lew, go to G-Lew, he does interviews on YouTube, or
wow,
vice versa, or whatever. That to me, it's an honor in itself for someone to mention me when I'm
Right.
not around. That's what I'm just saying. It's like that's true person right there, and that's how I present
That's
myself. I
that's
have
you.
the
That's what you've done for me. Cause like I said, like a lot of people, and sometimes I forget until you like mention them. Like you mention someone, I'm like, wow, I'm connected with them, and it's through you. You know what I mean? So that's beautiful.
Yeah, so that's why I say like make sure you take the time to remember, like who's there for you, and then also to take advantage and opportunities when you have the chance to promote your friends or your family, whoever it is, that you believe in,
Right.
because we might not get that opportunity. You might be at like a big time Hollywood like event with all these like producers and stuff like that.
Right.
And maybe your show is not the one that they're looking for, but guess what? They probably mentioned something that someone does,
Right.
and guess what? Through you, you're gonna help them that ladder, or you're gonna stay quiet. If you stay
Right.
quiet, then you're a hater. I'm
Right.
sorry, but that's just how I see it. Because then you're not really a person that really genuinely loves that person's vision and dreams and goals. You're kind of like, shoot, well, they didn't want me, so I'm not gonna tell her about it. Nah, that's not how it should be. But people are like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a fact. But like you said, man, that's what it's about, and that's why, like I said, man, I love everything what you do. Two Souls is all positive, you know what I mean, and great energy and real. You know what I mean? It's hard to come across real ones like that. That's why, like I said, I love to have you on every time. It never gets old. It never will. And I always love to have you back on whenever you can come, because there's always great conversation like tonight. This is the most fun I've had in a while right here. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what it's.
Yeah, we always have fun here. We're just missing Big D.
Yeah,
He's
shout out to
coming.
Big D. Been laying low. Shout out to Big D. But again, so anything else we need to touch on we did not speak about, you want to speak about, or anything else you want to say, shout outs, anything?
um, Well, yeah, see, so like I said, if anybody wants to buy this magazine, hit me up. I do have a bunch of a bunch of magazines myself here, so you could save money on shipping. I'll have these on my event at the Redlands, at the Escape Brewery in Redlands. I'm gonna have these for sale. Also, the second edition of Cover Gas Entertainment is coming up. This is the first one, but the second edition is already out, and I'm getting it tomorrow. So he's also selling his magazines. It's very interesting because this is what it's all about. It's about the community. It's these stories right here. They're all talking. These both magazines are awesome because it's presenting the communities. It's presenting people that are hustling, that are grinding, that are
Right.
trying to make a difference in their life. Instead of going down, they're going up. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of support through the people that created those magazines. The filmmakers, the creators. Their vision is to basically put a voice out there of the voiceless. You know what I'm saying? To make something of these people. Like, we're all hidden, and we don't push each other out there, no one's gonna know about us.
Right. Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
so
Facts.
much love to them. So shout out to Love Machine, shout out to Pro. I had a lot of fun working with them at the last comedy skit that we did. That's just hilarious. Check it out on YouTube. Make sure you guys comment. Let me know what you guys think of my acting. That shit's hilarious.
Dope. Everyone tap in and don't forget to follow her on IG, Two Souls Forever. Just like that right there. Two Souls Forever on IG. And follow the Two Souls
Fire Radio.
radio. And then download the app. You can go to the app. Right? They can download the app, right? Two Souls?
Yeah, if they want to, they could download the app, but they don't really have to because you could just listen to the show off the website. Just press play, and then you could just listen to it from there. But some people like the convenience of downloading the app, and then they could just press play and listen to it from there. So it's two options, whatever they want to do.
Dope. And yeah, man, thank you again. Two Souls, another classic episode. Like this was fire right here. You know what I mean? I thank you always again for always the support and love. And she promotes in everything I do, like she promotes as well, shows me love. So it's just mutual. And like I said, you're my sister for life. So thank you for all you do, and thank you again for coming on my show.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, and thank you to everybody that was here watching. I can't really see who's on here, so if I didn't say hi to you guys, I'm sorry.
A
I
lot
could
of
only
people are showing you love. So I'm just go back and look at it, but a lot of people want to show you love. So they all love you. So thank you.
Yeah.
Two Souls. And don't forget to check her out every Tuesday.
Tuesday night, Triple Shot Tuesday, baby, at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, guys. Show up. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you guys, now that we're here, if you guys want to know, whoever's here is going to know about it. And whoever watches this, I have another show that's coming out in October. Stay tuned for that, guys. It's a new show coming out in October. It's going to be spicy.
Uh-oh. Be on the lookout.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that. It's going to be on the radio. It's a new show coming out by Halloween.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh. And look for her, too, on Javier's new thing he's working on. It's coming out soon, Traviesos. She's going to
do that. Movie.
Yeah, shout out to Javier. Look for her. Yep. And shout out to all her artists, Queen P, all her personal artists she works with, and everyone out there supporting the movement. Two Souls forever. Two Souls on fire.
Tony, I see you, Tony. My collab partner's right there watching.
That part. Shout out to the team. Yeah. And thank you again. And we're out of here. Much love and respect, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Thank you again, Two Souls.
All right. Thank you.
All right, y'all.
This that digital G shit. Summertime storyline, I had to retweet this. G-Lew coming straight out the trunk with my homie D West with some West Side funk. From the jump, we kept it way too major. And everywhere I go, they say, G, you a gangster. You the only one keeping it true. So if you keep it real with me, I keep it real with you. Yeah, it don't get no realer than that, cuz. Every time I leave, it's like they calling me back, cuz. I stay working, I don't get no sleep. I'm like 92.3, I stay on the beat. Like Julio G and the homie Big Theo. I'm trying to get a house out the hills next to Chino. The homie Willie D said do it like a Geo. Now I'm in the kitchen trying to cook me a kilo, but I do it all legal. And when I'm done, I go to scoop the homie D West in the Regal. Then we right back in traffic, heading to the studio to give your ass some more of these classics. Bombastic, just like Shabba. The homie ranked out when they pulled out the block eye. Now you gotta deal with a DP. Homie love's gonna get you like BDP. On me and everything I love. House party at the crib, we don't do no club.
Once again, everyone, thank you again. We're out. We'll see you tomorrow night for DD Hairston's Conversations in the Hookah Lounge. And then on Sunday night, me and Nayla will be back for Oldies Rule Forever. Peace and love. We are out of here.